All right. Good afternoon and happy Sunday. And we are live right here po sa 899 Action Center. Paglinggo naman po, it's a very interesting topic na ating pag-uusapan. Before I introduce our guest po, ladies and gentlemen, siya isang visionary entrepreneur dito po sa Manitoba, all over Canada. And hindi ko na papatagalin, it's super exciting po ang aming discussion. I-share siya ng mga tips, ng kanyang wisdom, ng kanyang vision sa pagnenegosyo. Alright po? Again, 899 Action Center welcomes Miss Tina Bailon.
Hello, Aldous. Good evening, good afternoon,
Yes po.
right? Is it afternoon?
Afternoon,
It is
evening.
afternoon.
Yes po.
Yes.
All over the world.
Uh-uh.
So, ready po?
Ready ka. I'm ready if you're ready.
Yeah. Ate Tina, can you just introduce yourself sa ating mga audience po worldwide po?
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tinabailon-Lindres. I'm the CEO of the Green Apron, which is an authorized dealer of salad master. So we're primarily headquartered here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, but we have a network of dealers across Canada and even the United States. So Salad Master, of course, is a global company, and I'm a CEO of a team of consultants who are also world champions.
Nabanggit yung world champion, for sure, as a leader, being a world champion, paano kayo nag-start ng vision niyo dito sa business po ninyo or mission vision niyo sa business po ninyo?
So, the Green Apron, which is the dealership, started with my husband being a consultant. So that's where we started. We owned the product, we loved it. My husband got into the business first, and then eventually I joined in. So that's exactly how we started. And if you're wondering how I joined in, is because I'm a trained attorney, and back then I was working with a law firm in Calgary where life was crazy. My son, this boy, was only one less than a year old back then.
Mhm.
So when Emma was starting to get busy with his salad master career, driving back and forth to Saskatchewan and Calgary, so Kristen was left with a nanny at home,
Mhm.
right? So he was always with a nanny. So I would leave him early in the morning to drive to downtown Calgary and come back in the evening. He was home. And then in the weekend naman, my nanny would be off. So I'd be
Mhm.
crazy with household chores. And so I barely had time for my son. So I think the turning point was when he got sick, and then I couldn't even leave the law firm at that time because I was very dumped with a lot of work. So I that's the turning point when I said, is this the kind of life that I would live? I had my son when I was already 38 years old. So pretty much I was taking care of myself the whole time.
Mhm.
And then my dad said that, how selfish can you be if you as a parent cannot take care of a son that was a gift for you, that's a gift for you.
Mhm.
So that's a turning point. And I said, let me talk to my husband and let's figure out a way on how I could transition from my job to entrepreneurship. So
Mhm.
that's how we started.
So speaking of transition, ang hirap niyan bilang mom and a family sa kayong professional life po ninyo.
Mm.
How did you go about, marami dito sa Winnipeg or Manitoba,
Oo
yung
nga eh.
ganitong sitwasyon na kagaya po ninyo. So paano yung transition period niyo po, yung mga obstacles?
It's not easy,
Mhm.
right? It's not easy, but it gets you to a point na you're forced to really think hard on what your priorities are.
Correct.
So at that time, I was a young mother. My priority was really to be with our son almost 24/7.
Mhm.
And my job was not giving me that. So at the end of the day, you have to figure out what's important for you, and you have to make some life changing
Mhm.
decisions, life altering decisions that would align to what you really want. And I understand it's a lot of sacrifice, but at the end of the day, you figure out what matters to you. And at that point, it wasn't money, it wasn't it wasn't career, it was just being a mother.
Mhm.
That's all that I was important to me back then.
Mhm. So being a mother and a businesswoman, yung pagpapivot po natin ng ating career and a personal life, again, gaano po siya kadali? Para sa inyo.
Madali. Oh, madali siya if everything aligns. Like, of course, yung asawa mo, supports you. You have your husband supports you. You have people around you who's supporting you in that new journey. And but really, guhugot ka from yourself.
Correct.
Like that's
Yeah.
where you get it from. Like irregardless, there are times when maybe you have to make the decision by yourself without getting any support, but you have to do it anyway. We have a
Uh-huh.
lot of single moms who just takes things uh, the way they have to, kahit wala silang suporta. So but for me it was easier because I was very very clear on what I really wanted.
Mhm.
So it got to a point that I would have meeting with executives of salad master, male executives at that, and then I nagbe-breastfeed ako sa anak ko in the boardroom.
Mhm.
So everybody has to figure out a way around that because I had to be very clear to everybody that at that point my priority was taking care of my son and enjoying that flexibility, of being able to take care of him at the same time, joining my husband on a seemingly flourishing journey.
Mhm. The journey is always, there's the left and the right. Of course, we have to adapt kung ano po yung situation po natin. Again, buti po si Ate Tina na-adapt po niya ah, yung situation at the time kahit nagbe-breastfeed po siya doing work. Very inspiring po. It's yung kanyang sinabi, and it empowers women as well, no, to not to be dependent sa sarili po nila. During those times, up now, let's go to the business. Paano nyo po na-motivate yung mga single mom like you before na nag-work, ay magwo-work para sa inyo, sa company po ninyo?
Well, thank you, Kristen. The thing about single mothers, and I know a lot of them, is that they don't need motivation from me. They don't. I'm the one who's getting motivation from them.
Talaga?
They don't need it. Why? Because they've gone through so much in their lives that all of these experiences have just, boiled in themselves that make them really, really powerful in their own rights. So there's a lot of single mothers that I work with, and their journey is just astounding. Something that, people like you or me probably couldn't comprehend. So they don't need any inspiration from me. I'm the one who gets inspired by them.
That's true. That's true. The moment they join, naghahanap ng trabaho, they're so motivated. Doing 3 or 4 jobs in a day.
Yeah.
Tama po kayo, attorney.
Oo.
Motivation na po yun.
Oo. Ang my experiences siguro ng single mother, I cannot even talk about it because I'm not one. But then I have, just talking to them is that, especially those who are immigrate to Canada with a son in tow or a couple of children, dependent children in tow, and you're getting into a totally new environment with just with nothing on your back but that solid willpower to just get over this and break through life and succeed. And I have seen, I am blessed, Aldous, to be in a position where I see this all the time, and it's so powerful.
Yes, I agree. Speaking of immigrants, they come from a different country, different culture, then mag-adapt dito to a new land, basically home for them.
Oo.
As a leader of this big company of yours, they need mentorship.
Absolutely.
What are your styles and strategies for mentoring them?
So for new immigrants, ako, my take on that is that new immigrants, imagine from where we come from, right? To making those big decisions to get here. So we are strong in our own rights. We have it already. All it takes probably for new immigrants is to find, number one, a good community
Okay.
that will support them.
Yes.
Number two is to find people who are purpose-driven people. We have a lot of immigrants who have settled na, okay na kami, ganyan, ganyan. I think for you immigrants, those are not the people that you should hang around with. You should hang around with people who will help you navigate through more challenging things.
That's true.
So number three is that you can find your support system through church, through organizations. And four is that you're already in Canada. We know that there is almost unlimited opportunity available for you, right? Pag new immigrant, syempre, medyo hindi pa natin nakikita yon. We just see uh, things na okay survival, buying a house, buying a car, and all that. So when you go through this process, and it's going to be very very difficult, all I need you to remember is that there is so much ahead of you.
Correct.
So while you're doing this, do not limit yourself to what the future is. You know what I mean? So remove all those limiting beliefs. No, na new immigrant tayo, ganito lang tayo, we'll settle for an odd job, we'll do this. No, these are things you start with, but you have to always remember na kahit gaano kahirap ang gagawin mo, I experienced for the first time, right? Walking
Yes.
on snow. Yung mga ganun na umiiyak ka, negative ganyan, but you're commuting in Calgary. You're commuting, you're running after the bus. I experienced that on my first month when I didn't have my driver's license. Umiiyak ka, but then you have to remember, this is just the beginning of a
Exactly.
beautiful journey ahead. So the rest is really up to you to figure out.
Yes po. Yung beautiful journey, at lahat po tayo dumaan po sa ganyan mga kwento ni attorney. At nasarap balikan. No? So again, we are looking for our perfect journey. We're looking for our perfect life for our family. Papunta po tayo doon. And most of the time po, nakakalimutan po natin either or. Yung family natin, dahil trabaho tayo ng trabaho, or nakakonsentrate tayo sa family rin, minsan nakakalimutan rin natin na-converse yung ating financial. Madam, how do you balance your work schedule and your personal life?
Okay, so that's a very good question, and I think being a woman,
Yes.
a lot of women could uh, relate to me. Lalo na when you are, for example, for me, I consider myself like I'm a CEO of a big company. Do you know that in the previous years I would travel every single month away, right? And it gets to a point where it really drives your life, personal life, really crazy, family life really crazy. But whether that nurse ka, I also see nurses, no, or healthcare workers. They're working in during nighttime. They're not able to take care of their children. Women who have two jobs. So busy tayo. And I think the number one thing here is guilt. So we all experience that guilt, no?
That's
Na
true.
parang, am I prioritizing my job over my family? Am I doing the right things? You tend to question. You tend to question those things. And what I want everybody to remember is that for you not to be guilty, you have to think of a few things. Number one, oftentimes something has to give.
Sure.
There are times when knowingly you can't be there for your children, right? There are times when knowingly you can't take that promotion because of your priorities, right? So at times something has to give. And if for a minute you sacrificed your family life over your job or whatever that, don't feel guilty. These are givens in life. Lalo na for us who are just starting, alam mo yon, towards their 50s, everything that's given. Number two, for you not to be guilty, you really have to be very, very intentional.
Correct.
Very intentional in the sense na you know that you are doing this because it matters to you.
Exactly.
So once I think you get those two figure out in your brain na, okay, I know I'm not able to watch my son's basketball today because I am working and my work is equally important, no? Number two is that I'm clear why I am missing that basketball game. And the number three is communicate with your family. I told even my sons, like, I am doing this because blah blah blah. Once once you do these things, everything becomes seamless. Everybody around you understands your limitations.
Mhm.
Everybody around you understands the sacrifices
Correct.
that you make. And even your children that you think are innocent and all, you kind of push them to a sense of maturity that, hey, once you're grown up, there are things that you need to sacrifice on. So I think when you have this all figured out, you will live a guilt-free life. Even if you mess up, and if you mess up, that's
That's okay.
okay.
Yes.
Right? That's okay. There's always another day to make up for lost times. But when things are important to you, I think you will just find that a symmetry in everything that you do.
Mm-hmm. I hear the word kanina, why, no? Personally and professionally, let's start with personal. What is your biggest why?
Why I'm doing what I do,
Yeah, huh?
you know, the power of why, right? It's very important to really know why you do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Pero yan kasi, that why in you changes.
Mm-hmm.
So before, my why was different, right? I was telling you I just wanted to be focused on being a mother. My why now is
Change.
different.
Mhm.
No, now that so it's funny because I just had a meeting with my team and they asked me the same thing. And my why now is really to allow, and I mean this from the bottom. Has nothing to do with business. Um, to allow people that I get in touch with to be influenced by the positive things that I think I can bring to the table.
Like,
Example.
mhm.
So when we were in Paris, we found a Filipino driver who brought us around. In 2 days, I was able to coach him into, this is the thing that you should do to scale your business so you cannot just own one car, but three cars, four cars, five cars. Yesterday, I'm sure my friend is watching. I have a stylist from the Philippines, and what's this? I went through his Instagram and I said, this is not good enough. Come on. Yesterday, the whole day,
Mhm.
up to 6 a.m. this morning, I did nothing but help him fix the social media. And I don't do this for anything. Like in Bali. In Bali, we met a really, really good Indonesian guy who speaks good English. He's a tourist guide,
Tourist guide.
right?
Yes.
But he does such an amazing job, but he cannot scale his business because he felt limited. So I sat with him, my husband and I sat with him over lunch and over dinner and all that, and just, you can do this. Up to now, I'm stalking him and he's like sending me message. I said yes. So those are the positive things. I have been mm, I have been influenced by good people, starting from my family, from my parents, no, up to, I think that's my blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Na I never had a chance to be influenced negatively. So whoever I am right now is just a doing of all the positive influences in my life.
Mhm.
And that is what I want to share. Whether you're working for me, for a salad master, whether you were the Green Apron, or whether we're just friends or whatever.
Mhm.
So those are my why, that's to bring more impact to the people around me in a positive way.
Mhm. Very good. Well said po. Ang lalim nun.
Wala, lima. Magkape nga muna tayo.
Kape
So,
muna tayo.
okay.
Yes. So, you mentioned kanina mentorship. In every businesswoman like you and I, may tinitingnan tayong idol or mentor.
Mm-mm.
Either sino man siya na fina-follow natin, pinapakinggan natin yung kanyang mga influence or yung kanyang styles. sino pong ina-idol natin o titignan natin sa pedestal
Mm,
as a mentor in sales?
in sales, I really have none in particular kasi medyo sponge ako.
Mm.
So I could learn. I just learned from you 3 days ago about not funeral plans, but ano yan? The cemetery.
The cemetery and
Okay.
funeral, yeah.
So
Rearrangements.
I'm like that. So if I take that that information, that influences me already. So I really don't have any, big person. I'm influenced by, I'm influenced by the books that I read.
Correct.
Of course, I'm influenced by new billionaires in Silicon Valley. I'm influenced by a lot of people. However, ang blessing ko is being with Salad Master, which is a 78-year-old company.
Mhm.
So you can just imagine the wealth of experience
Yeah.
that the company brings when you go to, like, we have master dealer trips, we have all these trips where either you're a successful dealer or you're struggling, you're all together. So you get a lot of that sources.
Mhm.
And I think those are the things that that influence me. There's really not one. I was reading the book of Elon Musk, but there are things that I don't agree with. So in a sense, I like he influenced me in some ways,
Uh-huh.
but doesn't. So
Yes. Uh, Bilang isang CEO, ang napakaling company, of course, some of our audience are starting their own small businesses, growing up to a big business pretty soon. Especially dito sa Winnipeg, maraming gustong magnegosyo. Okay. Bilang entrepreneur on a mother view, nakikita natin, ano ba yung mga calculated risk na pwede nating advise sa kanila to overcome those ones na para hindi na po nila uulitin na. At least nakita mo, napagdaanan mo.
Lessons.
Lessons, yes.
So, marami. Alam mo, it's not easy to be in business, no?
Mhm.
Especially, no, it's not easy at all to be in business. That's why it's very, very important na you're really strong.
Correct.
To be in business. So, lessons na napag-aralan ko, hire a lawyer. Hire a good lawyer, that's somebody that you can call and talk to, um, even the wee hours of the morning.
Mhm.
Hire good big bookkeepers and accountants. Don't want to mess up
Mhm.
with your taxes.
Mhm.
Number 3, learn the business.
Correct.
Really learn the business. This is something like, it's not because you know how to cook should you open a restaurant.
Okay,
Correct?
pag-usapan po yan.
Yes.
Yes. Maraming ganyan.
So, ibig ko
Yes.
sabihin, a business, once it becomes, when you talk of a business enterprise, no, hindi dahil hilig mo, magnenegosyo ka na towards that.
Mhm.
Because a business has so many aspects to
Correct.
it.
Mhm.
Dapat ready ka in all the aspects of
Mhm.
it. Marunong ka ba how the lease goes, how renting goes, how hiring people goes, those things. So, dapat talaga alam mo lahat ng aspeto ng business
Mhm.
before you get into it.
Correct. May mga in and outs po niyan. Tama sabi ni attorney, hindi lang tayo marunong magluto. Mag-open na ako. Right?
Correct.
So, marami pong aspeto o components or elements na consider to be a successful business owner.
Correct.
Kahit anong business po, napapasukan po natin, you should basically alam natin and by heart.
Mm-hmm. Or kung hindi mo naman alam, you make sure that you're surrounded with mentors or
Mhm.
people who will really hold your hand in the beginning.
Mhm.
So either you have that knowledge already or you're open to really acquiring more knowledge. And
Mhm.
sometimes too, because you asked about calculated risk, sometimes too we do business leap of faith. Alam mo yung ganon?
Yeah.
Because it seems good and it's doable and all that. That's okay too.
Mhm.
But just be reminded, that it's not going to be easy, and always seek mentorship. I think that's very important, whether especially if you're starting.
Correct.
Dapat may mentor ka talaga na who knows more
Mhm.
than you, and who's willing to do it for free.
Tama po yun. So may mentor tayo, nakapag-set up tayo ng business. And the next phase po dito is, attorney, paano po nila ma-maintain ang good customer satisfaction?
Mm.
Ang hirap po pag-aralan po yan. It's very
Mm-mm.
flexible po yan.
Okay. So, number one, as a business owner, you will never please everybody.
Oo po kayo.
The biggest stressor, I think, ng Filipino businesses and even to Filipino business people is that we're kind of scared of the things that being said about us.
Mhm.
That's the biggest stressor. Alam mo, lalo na ngayon, like I can see it like on Filipino groups or pages, yung ganon. If you mess up, you're already out there.
Mhm.
Alam mo yan? And sometimes nobody even listens to the explanation. They just judge you, and that tends to bring your business down.
Mhm.
Sa mga nununood, kung hindi kayo negosyante, be kind.
Correct.
All right? I need you to be kind. Why? Because there's so much that a business owner does. And number one, really, for practical reasons, is that we provide employment, whether you like it or
Mhm.
not. We provide employment, we pay taxes, we help the economy.
Mhm.
So, maraming stressors yan. So, the most person and foremost, the most that you can do if you're not a business person is be kind to
Mhm.
business people. Now, going into back into business people, no, yun ang maraming stressor. What? Oh, sorry, I got lost. What was the question?
Ah,
Nawili kami sa kwentuhan. I forgot the question.
customer satisfaction.
Oh, customer success.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
number one, wag kang may stress. You won't make everybody happy.
Mhm.
That's number one. But number two also is that you have to kind of create a system, kahit maliit na system, that you always bring value to customer relationship. For example, a very simple example is that when somebody walks into your restaurant or your salon, how do you greet them? As simple as that, no?
Mhm.
How do you make them feel?
Invaluable.
Just
Yeah.
getting into your when they leave, how do you make them feel? So those are really small touches that I can't talk of a customer service on a global scale, because on a bigger scale we have CRM, we have things
Yes.
like that. No,
Mhm.
we have the infrastructure for customer service. However, when you are just starting, how do you make your customers feel from a very genuine level?
Mhm.
Eto I'll tell you, as I said, I've been flying all my life. Eto, there was this time. So, like, even if you're at the business class, so the attendants talk to you like, is there something you need? There is this flight attendant who would bend
Oh,
and hold you
talaga.
here. Mrs. Lindres, is there something I can do for you? I can never forget that gesture.
Mhm.
She didn't need to bend. She not bend, but they kind of knelt
Yeah,
down,
knelt
no?
down,
Like,
yes.
Mrs. Lindres, is there anything I can do for you? And they look at you at the eye. And I go like, no, I'm fine. Just let me know if you need anything. Of course, I was in business class, right? So,
Yes.
but even in business class, that's not expected of you. But I saw her doing the same thing to everybody. And I figured, why does she need to bend? Seriously. And that image has really stuck in my brain for the rest, well, up to now.
Mhm.
Like, there are things that we do that doesn't require money.
Correct.
Right? There are things in business that we can do to make our customer special.
Mhm.
And just a gesture like that, like when you talk to a customer, like, do you take a moment to just look in the eye, and if you mess up, like, just apologize? Do you do that as a business owner, or you just do? So business is difficult, but the number one propeller also of business growth is customer
Correct.
service. And you know, it takes a while. I couldn't say even for the Green Apron that we have perfected that art and process, but we are also conscious of the little things that we can do to make our customers feel better.
I have to share you something. Tama yung sinasabi ni attorney eh. In our industry, everything is just grieving.
Mhm.
A simple touch, or 1 second touch, makes a big difference po. Try it out. Baka sabi po sabi niya, be kind and be humble. Yun po ang kailangan po ng tao. Naintindihan naman po nila. Kailangan lang po nila, intindihin niyo rin po sila. Again, just be kind and humble. So,
So, do we have people really watching us? Do you have people
we have
watching?
questions
I
later on.
wonder. Yeah, I wonder what they're saying.
30
Okay,
people,
so we have 30,000 people watching us.
and the replay would be much better. Okay.
Yeah.
As a entrepreneur, kanina nabanggit mo you're helping people na about Instagram.
Or little things.
Little
You
things.
know, it doesn't. It's not really a structured way, but
Yeah.
it's whatever you
So,
can do.
Nowadays, off camera, we were talking the other day, is the playing field right now is social media.
Mm-mm.
As a CEO po sa Salad Master, paano po natin naka-up-trip sa trends ng social media right now?
Okay.
Any tips po sa kanila?
So, number one, stop the bashing. Stop the bashing. You know, uh, and I've told everybody, okay, so number one, be disciplined about what you really
Correct.
post.
That's I agree with you. Discipline.
So is this how you wanted your friends or followers or people who will do business with you? Is this how you want to be seen, to be recognized, and to be remembered?
Mm-hmm.
If you take the negativity out for business people, take the negativity out, or even for an entrepreneur, take the negativity out. Uh, Maybe sometimes you have to vent on social media, but that is something that I really don't understand. Venting out, it's as if
Tandaan
you're
po yun.
telling
Yeah.
people what's going through with you. That doesn't sit with me. So I can't comprehend that. Because really, at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, nobody gives a shit about you.
Exactly.
The world is not about you. But the way sometimes people post on social media is they think that the world is about them. No. You know, that person that you're fighting with on social media is sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And here you are at 2 a.m. venting on social media. This person doesn't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
On how you're feeling,
Mm-hmm.
right? So be careful. Be careful with what you post. You know, if you are an entrepreneur, you have to be very focused and disciplined on your messaging as well as on the imagery that you are creating out there.
Correct.
Number two is that for people to like you, to follow you, you have to be relevant, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to bring posts or activities that are relevant and useful to them. If you think it's not useful, then
Don't do it.
unless it's your personal page and you want to share and all that, that's what it is there for. But from an entrepreneur, when you switch off your personal profile and get into your entrepreneur hot, the game is different.
Mm-hmm.
This one, you have to be more calibrated. Your message has to be more calibrated, more disciplined, and more relevant to the people that you want to follow you. Correct. Or to be influenced by you.
I agree. Should be relevant and disciplined. Yun po ang dapat po laman po natin ang page po natin sa business site, YouTube, or ating socials. Going back, moving forward, most entrepreneurs like us, we engage ourselves to gift giving or philanthropies.
Mm-hmm.
Ano po yung programs po ng Salad Master in regards to this type of philanthropy?
So on a global scale, alam mo, Salad Masters really right now, proud supporter of the American Diabetic Society. So we have a lot of things for the Filipino, we even have a Gawad Kalinga
Mm-hmm.
village. So marami kaming so we tend to we tend to think through things kung ano ang relevant. For example, this year what we did was more simple and more community based. So we gathered about 60 new immigrants to our office. And we just had gift giving, food, and fun with them. So that was this year. Previous years, like, we worked with a Nigerian community. So we donated, there was a war where we got involved in donating stove and money to fund foods, etc. So it differs on a year to year basis depending on what we feel is relevant.
Yun po. Last three questions before we
Last
end
three
the show.
questions.
On the lighter side, how do you start your day, madam?
Coffee. So caramel macchiato, venti skinny, that really starts my day. And then because sometimes I'm still in bed, but what I do is structure my day. I don't hop out of the bed right away. So if I was not able to make a plan last night of how my day goes, then I will do it about 15 minutes in the beginning of the day. Like, what are the top things, and this is important. Planning your day
Plan your
is
day.
important because there's so many things that will come along the way, but like top three things that I want to do for the day. So I put that there so I remember already how the day goes by.
That's true. Mga tayo mga businessman. So nagbumuni-muni lang po kayo. Wag mo na cellphone. So planuhin na natin kung ano yung mangyayari for the whole day.
Mm-mm.
Then lunchtime, assessment ka. Na-achieve ko ba yung target ko?
Mm-mm.
Merienda again, kung kailan mo mag-push, kailan nyo pong mag-huggle, do it po. Importante.
Planning
Planning.
the day,
Always
planning the day.
planning and strategizing.
So don't let even if you're working 8 to 5, don't just let the day go by. No, okay. So you have your 8 to 5 work. Before that, after that, how do you make those time outside of your 8 to 5 job valuable and useful?
Tama po kayo.
Anong plano mo from 7 to 8 Netflix, ganon. Tapos 8 to 9 whatever. So because really, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, if you know how to manage your time, you will figure out that despite your 40-day schedule, you have so much more things that you can do that will bring value to you or your family.
Correct. Tamang-tama po siya. Well said po. Last two questions po. As a mom, then later on as a businesswoman, ano po ang gusto niyo pong maiwan na legacy?
As a mom, ang legacy talaga na gusto kong maiwan, and my sons listen, is kindness. Yun talaga, that trait of being just kind.
Correct.
And that's what gives me joy when I see them do acts of kindness. You know why? Because it makes my heart glow. Alam mo yun, it really makes your heart glow na, oh, whether they messed up at school or they messed up at some point, they're genuinely kind.
Correct.
Yun yung gusto kong trait na maiwan sa kanila. In terms of wealth, I think, or where if they are interested, it's there. Whatever we do, my husband and I, it's there for them. But at the end of the day, I think we'll just leave them with enough to get by and really making sure that they know how to fish on their own.
Parang work ko to.
Talaga?
Every time sa akin. Okay. And before we go to the questions, professionally po, anong gusto mo maiwan sa mga members of your team? Na pwede lang, idol ko yan.
For my team, they're medyo personality centric kasi if you are the CEO, you are the dealer, then a lot of things that happen is influenced by you. But I operate also, and I think if there's only one thing that I want uh, to really be strong upon is to live in a drama-free environment. So, ganon ang dealings. I want as much as possible, no? The dealings within and among us is always kind of drama free. So show me the. So what's your problem? One, two, three facts, and then okay, let's resolve it.
Solution.
So that I really get turned off when um maybe it's just me, right? So when the sentence starts like I feel this, I said, let's remove the feeling first and let's focus on facts. So I think if there's something that I want to that I've been sharing with everybody in my team is how to operate on a drama free environment and a more disciplined environment. So
In any organization, part pa rin po yan. Kaya yan po yung mga challenges, pero yan po yung excitement sa isang organization. Okay, Attorney, i-read ko lang mga comments natin before we go to the last question. Very supportive, Lady Boss. Very grateful that we belong to. Awesome lady, great motivation, such an inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
Aim high. Yan po, always aim high. Amazing boss lady. You just have to know her. You will learn a lot from her. One of the best mentors
Oh,
in
thank
Salad
you.
Master.
Thank you.
Let the wisdom, elegance, and experiences of Tina Bailon-Lindres inspire everyone to
Oh,
take your dreams and to take the flight.
oh, thank you guys. That's so heartwarming.
Yes,
That's so
nakaka-touch po.
heartwarming.
There are more questions for no more?
No questions, but yeah, thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Last question to end up the interview po. Ano po yung upcoming events po ng Salad Master? Ano po yung expect po nila and everything po?
So I promised not to talk about Salad Master here, but I might as well take the chance, no? Do you know that we are on our 10th year this year? And that's a big year for us. Well, it's big to be in direct sales in Winnipeg for 10 strong years.
Very
I don't
strong
just
years.
mean 10 years that passed us by, 10 strong years. So I would like to encourage all everybody who owns Salad Master and even the people who will own Salad Master is that there are bigger things up ahead in the next few months that we will be unrolling bit by bit by bit. Number two is that there is a misconception. Well, okay, so Salad Master is expensive, right? And I agree. We don't lie about our pricing. We know it's expensive, but we all because we believe that cheap things, are not good, and good things are not cheap either.
Correct.
So number three is that people, it is really our passion to make sure that everybody goes back to healthy home cooking. With that said, you can invest on Salad Master even with just one piece. You can always start something somewhere that is manageable for you cost wise, just to experience and to challenge yourself what the difference would be if you start using even just a piece to begin with. So there's so much more, and I think we're going to do some cooking
Yeah,
shows,
from
right?
cooking shows,
Yeah.
every month na po tayo.
Hindi ako chef, but we tend, I'll teach you how to make your lives easy in the kitchen.
So exciting po yan. Abangan po natin mga next segments po natin. Every month po, regular na po tayo mag-feature ng pagluluto po
Hey,
ng Salad Master.
that sounds good.
Final words and wisdom po sa mga ating mga entrepreneurs po nakikinig po na manggagaling po sa isang CEO po.
I have so much in my head to say, but I think, eto na, final words ko. Filipinos, I think most of our audience is Filipino, correct? Is
Yes,
that right?
mostly po.
So, Filipinos or immigrant, for that matter, start thinking big. And what I mean by big is being global in scope. We are already in Canada or we are in different parts of the world. We have embraced, climatized, a more modern, a more, let's say, first world mentality. With that, soak in that. And what I need you to remember is that when you do business, don't just think of Filipinos, or don't just think of people who are within your niche market already.
Mm.
Whatever this you do, whether it will be a restaurant, whether it's a laundromat, whether it's cleaning service, whatever it is, think global, guys, because the world is at our feet. If only we do the hustle and we do a good job, we'll all really be very, very successful beyond measure.
Exactly. I agree po, Jess. Okay po, thank you po sa wisdom po, sa mga advices po ni Madam Tina. And again, if you have questions, you can call us or you can post on our Facebook. Then we could answer it later on sa ating succeeding segments with Madam Tina and her team sa Salad Master. So everyone po, abangan po natin. May segment na po
Luto.
tayo na pagluluto or any other types po about Salad Master. Again, thank you, Madam,
Thank you so much.
for having us. This
May
is
I just
magandang
say
residence,
this, that it's a Sunday, you and your wife should be at home, comfortable, nesting, doing
Mhm.
your own thing. But here you are at my house doing this interview for absolutely free. And when I wondered why you would do this, and because you genuinely feel that you are in a position to fill in those gaps in their community. And what a great job you do. And really, it comes from the bottom of my heart. We need more Filipinos like that who will carry that vision through and put in the work without expecting anything else in return, but just really from an altruistic sense of being able to help the community and to lift everyone in the community. I think at the end of the day, we want more people lifted
Mhm.
than dragged down, right? And I think that's what makes what we do important.
Exactly.
God bless everybody.
Thank you so much. Dito po sa 899 Action Center, may problema kayo, may solusyon kami. Thank you po.
Bye for now.